on, everybody? See if I can't get this thing lighted again. What's up? Happy Memorial Day. See how long the weather can hold out for me. Let me see here. I'm doing it old school. I'm trying. I don't think I got enough fuel in here. I wanted to talk to y'all. Let me see. I wanted to talk to y'all. Today is the holiday, and today, hey Shawanda, how you doing? I might have to go in a second, but right now we're gonna try to tough it out. Precious Sunshine, how you doing? Shawanda, Wells 803 Garden, TJ, Natasha Mapp, C. Francis, the Power Wheelchair Farmer, how we doing? Power Chair Farmer, man. I'm sorry about that. W. Garrett, come on, sucker. Country Boy Capital, what's up? Don't, how you doing? Daisy Hall. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. Let me see. Jerry King, Akasha, how you doing? Shawanda. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give this up. I ain't got enough fluid in here. Let me see who else we got here. Hawaiian, how you doing? I want to come in here real quick, say hello to everybody. G Cole, how you doing? Janice, how you doing? Want to come in here off grid with Rashad, future spokesman. How you doing? I had something I wanted to share with you guys, and it's really not original, and it's not me. I just wanted to share something I saw today. Something I saw today that really, it ain't disturbed me. How you doing, Darius? I ain't gonna say it disturbed me in a bad. I wasn't surprised. Let's put it like that. I saw something today, and it said it was a young girl, and I don't know why her video was in my feed. Hey, Sonya, I don't know why her video was in my feed, but it was. Let me see. Now the thing was about this. The thing that got me about this was, here come that rain. I'm gonna have to roll it back in a minute. Here come that rain. Dang. I just can't win today. Young girl, I'm seeing her video pop up in my feed. And the video was, she said she's 33, been to the military, full education. She's been to college, so she has degrees, and she has nothing. I wanted to, hey, Granny Karma, I wanted to yell to the top of my lungs and reach out to this young lady, but I didn't want to. I don't want to do it on social media. I'm gonna have to do that because we're gonna have to go. Because I ain't gonna sit out here like no, be getting moistened. Hey, can you bring me a stool, please, honey? Bring me a stool. Better yet, I got a better idea. Hold on. Hold on. Never mind. Just use the one I had. This way, I can just kind of, let's cut on the light. Soon as I start the video, start raining. All right, let's get back into it. Let me see. Hey, Chasing Butterfly, Von Wheel. Okay. So this young lady got to me, and that's probably why she was in my feed, because she is a veteran, clearly. And again, Happy Memorial Day to all the vets and all of our active members. Now, it touched my heart because this young lady, she doesn't know what to do. And I've been talking about this forever, and I felt it's a good time to bring this subject up because we can't shake it. You can't pretend it's not. It's a lot of things going on in the world right now that you can't pretend ain't happening, right? One of the things is this young lady, 33, she has nothing. She has nothing because she did everything right. You can't say she was hanging in the streets, she was doing this, doing that. No. Right out of high school, she went into the military. Right out of the military, she went to college. Right out of college, she got mad degrees. Problem is, there is no jobs for her out here now. Everything she learned in the military is almost remember that word. Everything she learned in the military is almost useless out here in this new world, right? I wanted to scream to this young girl and give her some advice. And I said, instead of me talking to her on social media, because that's whack about personal stuff, I wanted to address this and talk to everybody. And I want to tell you what works for me. I can't say it's the perfect solution, but it works. Right now, everybody is in that position. It don't matter how old you are. And basically for all of us is reaching the retirement age, or you are in the retirement age, you really should be thinking about it like right now, which is, hey, the reason why you've been working so hard for so long and you still don't have nothing is because we're playing the wrong game. You're working hard for nothing. And the reason I say that is because you're working your butt off for somebody. It's not for you. You out here grinding and you doing right. You're the upstanding citizen. You're a taxpayer. You stay out of trouble. You ain't in and out of jail. You ain't in the club. You ain't partying. You trying to save your money. You're trying to take care of your kids. You trying to hold it down, take care of a household, pay car note, pay utilities and everything. And you still feel like you're behind. How many people feel like you're behind? No matter what you do, no matter how hard you work, you feel like you cannot win. Every time you start to feel like you're winning, it's like they speed up the conveyor belt. Every time you start catching up to the system and catching up to the rat race in the game that we play, it's like they speed up the doggone conveyor belt. And now you have to work even harder, faster, and be more cunning and use your brain even more just so you don't drown. Everybody feel like that. And if you don't, I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear from you if you do not feel like that. Because you must not be from the planet Earth. And I would love to meet an alien right about now. It wouldn't shock me. This young lady was doing everything right, and this for everybody. This young lady was doing everything right, just like we all are. The only problem is we're doing everything right for somebody else. You're doing everything right so somebody else can win. You're doing everything right as an American citizen so somebody else can get rich. You're doing everything right in society as an American citizen so somebody else can become wealthy, and you never win. And the only time you feel like you're winning is because they brainwash you into thinking the more junk you buy, you're winning. I know y'all ain't gonna want to hear this, but let me see. Said ownership of assets is the only way to outpace inflation. Unfortunately, saving is like pouring into a bucket with a hole in it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Uh so what could you do, or what advice would you give this young lady and other people that feel that way? You did everything right in society, but you're losing. You owe people. No matter what job, even if you get a great job, you still losing. I'm going to tell you what works. If everybody right now need to stop thinking, let me see. Right, every time you turn around, there's something. Absolutely, a new bill, a new system that makes you need more money. What is her degree in? It don't matter what your degree is in right now. That's 100% totally irrelevant in 2026. She could be a rocket scientist. She could be electrical or civil engineer. It doesn't even matter because you're being replaced. You're being replaced by something that can think faster than you. I ain't gonna say think, I'm gonna say you're being replaced by something that can process problems and solutions faster than you. And it doesn't get tired. It doesn't need sleep. It doesn't need a lunch break. It doesn't need a cigarette break. It doesn't eat. There's a teacher shortage. No, it's not. There isn't a teacher shortage. You've been replaced. There's not a shortage. They don't need you. That's why they're getting rid of teachers, because all they need to do, and which a lot of teachers done over the last since 2020, there will be one teacher teaching hundreds of children online. That's because they've made it so the lesson plans that the teachers are even using is AI. It ain't that they don't want you. They don't need you. Do you understand? Imagine this. Imagine this. Imagine somebody come to your door and knock on your door and ask you, can they rake your leaves? Can I rake your leaves? I'm only charge you $40. I'll rake up all your leaves, put them in bags, and set them on the curb. What if you have a lawnmower that does that? And all you have to do is sit on this lawnmower, and not only does it rake the leaves and bag the leaves up, but it also cuts the grass. Will you also sit here and pay this young man $40 to do nothing? Something that's going to take him all day to do because of the size of your yard? Or you can jump on your riding lawnmower and have that done in 20 minutes. It's not that they don't want you. It's not that I wouldn't like this young man to earn a living and he doing right and he ain't out in the streets hustling. The thing is, I really don't need you. Young men was trying to rake my leaves this past fall. I didn't need them because I have a lawnmower that does that. Ain't that something? I love that they out here hustling, they ain't in the streets in some trouble, but at the same time, I could have that done in 15 minutes versus them going to be out there in my front yard for the next 4 hours, right? Hey, Gina versus Gina. So my point is, you cannot deny it's a difference between want and need. They don't need us, especially, especially when they don't have to pay you. They don't have to pay this robot. They don't have to pay this AI program. They don't have to pay it. Again, it doesn't take a lunch break. It doesn't take a 15-minute smoke break. It doesn't go to sleep. It never punches in or punches out. All of this time is tracked by its own self. And then to turn around, you don't even have to pay it. What's the saying? Buy once, cry once. If you buy this system, it's going to cost these companies billions or millions of dollars to install this AI system or this robotic system, but it's going to pay for itself in just a matter of months, if not a couple of years. And after that, they're cruising because they'll never have to pay a wage. They don't have to pay um, health care benefits. They don't have to, all of that stuff that these companies had to pay. They had to pay for your sick days. They had to pay for your personal leave days. These companies also had to pay for your bereavement days. These companies had to pay for your days that your wife is pregnant. What is it called? What is it called when you're pregnant? They have to pay you for that. Your vacation days. They have to replace you when you get sick. Imagine maternity. Thank you. I don't know why that's not in my head. Maybe because I'm done. But think about it. Who really wouldn't? If you're a business person, let's think seriously. Um, who wouldn't invest in that to cut overhead on a business level, not on a human level, or not on a moral level, but on a business level? Who would not want all that overhead cut? That's like millions and millions of dollars of overhead that you will never have to worry about again. So here's my point, because I don't want to go too far into that. My point is this: that young lady that I was just speaking on, that says she has nothing after she's done everything right. She was top of her class in high school. She joined the military. She did her 4 years, came out of the military. Then she went to college. She went to college for a period of time, came out with degrees and had good jobs, but she still ain't got shit. She's poor, broke, and lonely, literally. She hasn't got any money. She's alone because all the time that she spent trying to do the right thing for the system, she didn't have time for a love life or to meet a young man that would love her because she's too busy trying to win or too busy trying to be a boss, right? She's too busy trying to live the American dream that they set up for us. She's doing everything picture perfect. Where does she live? That does not matter. Why do you keep asking those type of questions? That doesn't matter. This is anywhere USA. She has nothing to show for it. And about, I'm going to say 80% of the people in this chat feel the exact same way. You're working your ass off. And by the time you start hitting about 40 years old, you start realizing how much money. Don't be, hey, don't be rude, okay? You start realizing how much money you made in your lifetime as far, and then you start adding that up. It don't add up. You've been working since you was like 12 years old or something. You was a paper boy, then you was a little bag boy working in a grocery store, and yada yada yada, right? I'm gonna call your name out, okay? Because I don't want to send you out, but I'm gonna stop you. Your name is Mia. Mia, don't say anything else, okay? This is not about men versus women. If you have a problem with men, that's your problem. Please don't bring that into my chat, okay? It's not what we're talking about. Read the room. I don't want to send you off, but you're getting a little out of pocket, okay? So you don't. YouTube. Okay. All right. Here's the deal, because I'm not here to play no games on the nonsense and people that ain't got nothing either, but they want to give some advice on how to make it. You ain't got nothing either. And especially somebody talk about some how bad men is and calling them ninjas and stuff, that kind of wordage and verbiage, you can go. I'm gonna try to keep this on a level. Don't come back here, okay? Because you offended me. Just because you love thugs and you keep getting in relationships with thugs and they pump you full of babies and send you on about your way, you got to fight in court for child support. Don't blame that on all men. Don't do that. I don't go for that. So my solution is we have to change this system. We have to change what the American dream actually defines. Right now, everybody is working towards making more money. But one thing I found out, the more money you make, I ain't had to send nobody off to the cornfield in months, but they had to go. The more money that you make, the more they make you spend it. And I was going to say the more they take, but it's not that. They trick you out of it. The more money you make, they put you in another tax bracket, and it puts you somewhere else, and they make you feel superior to anybody beneath you financially, right? Gina says most people are living check to check regardless of how much they make. I see people make six figures that can't handle major house or car repair without a credit card or a loan. Absolutely. Absolutely. You want to know why? Because I told you, the more money you make, the more they trick you out of it. So if you are making six figures, this is how they're going to trick you out of it. You will have a vehicle, and the system is charging you more than you make. Every time you get a raise, so does your system. Your system, and when I say this, your system, I mean your world, your city, your state. Every time you think you're gonna be winning because you about to get a $5 raise, how many people, true story, all right, because this happened to me several times. How many times have you got a pay raise? And right when you think you're doing something, you look at your check and it's only like $30 or $40 more. Say they gave you a $5 raise. And so you counting all that money in your, like, my next check gonna be fat. But you get the check and it's only like $30 more, where you thinking like, man, I should at least have another extra $200 on my check net, right? On the payout. No, that's because they smart. They saw you was sitting right below that next tax bracket. And they realized, and if you don't know this, I'm going to tell you this how it works. If you're sitting right underneath this tax bracket right here, you're winning and you don't even know it. Right here, you sitting here saying, ooh, if I get when I get this raise, when I get this bonus, when they put me in the big office, you don't even know you're actually screwing yourself. And another thing about that is, usually you didn't get that bonus or you didn't get that raise because you earned it. I know, don't throw rocks at me yet, because just listen, hear me out. You did not get your bonus because you really truly earned it. You didn't. What happened was your company had an audit and they realized you're right here. So you're literally maximizing your pay wages versus your taxes. So you're really in a sweet spot and you don't even know it. All you want to see is a bigger number on your dollars per hour or your annual salary. You want to see a bigger number, but you don't even realize you are making more money right here than you will be when you're here. When they see you and say, you know, you're up for a promotion, you know that. You all like happy and everything else. Next thing you know, you get the promotion. I'm gonna tell you two things gonna happen to you. One, you're gonna just creep over that tax bracket where they can take more taxes than the money that they gave you in the raise. I can't make this up. They're going to raise your tax bar higher than the money that they gave you in your pay raise. So if you really added it up, if you were still under this tax bracket here and got that bonus, oh yeah, you definitely gonna be bringing in an extra $200 or $300 a week. But you crossed the tax bracket to tell them to tax you higher, which in turn, the money that they gave you, all they did was that's a write-off for their company. So they're saying, since you crossed this pay bracket, right, we're going to pay this employee more money, but your taxes is higher. So you got to pay your taxes first before we pay you. And when they pay the taxes, when you pay your taxes on your raise, that money goes back to the company and they claim your money. Do you understand what I just told you? So the company literally gives themselves a raise and pays you an extra $20 or $30 for letting them use you. If you don't believe me, you need to do more research. Everybody keep asking me, why did I quit such a good job like the post office? No, I didn't. I retired. For all the people keep talking about, you retired, you got a big retirement. No, I didn't. I quit. Because they increased my pay and I was making less money. So I'm out here on the street running from dogs for less money. That my eye and my dental didn't get better. My health insurance, now your health insurance, you got to pay more money on your health insurance. It got worse. My bonus, my raise made me worse. It made me have to work more because now what you're trying to do is get to that next sweet spot of that next tax bracket. That's all you're working for. So until you get up here, you ain't making no money until you get about right here underneath that next tax bracket. And as soon as you get there, they're going to give you another raise or another bonus or another promotion. And it's going to start all over again. I worked there for 8, Eve, and I quit. Everybody thought, oh man, you living good. You got a job. I did make good money. I did. But all of my money went to them, went back to the government. So here's what I did. And this is to anybody that does not understand what I'm talking about. That's why they so quick to give this young lady love life advice. That ain't what we're here for. I'm here to tell everybody we've been living wrong. Not only are a lot of us figuring out that we've been living wrong, we've been lied to. If you see them lying to you right now, right? Gina said, and they keep dangling carrots in front of you to take the rest of the money you make and call it cars, clothes, jewelry. Absolutely. Gifts. Gifts is what they call it. So imagine this. I quit. Do I make more money now that I quit working for the system? No, I don't. I don't at all. But I'm going to tell you what happened. I realized something. once I quit my job, I didn't know what I was going to do because my side jobs, it really wasn't going to, between YouTube and my business and me and my wife's businesses, it really wasn't going to, I found something out the hard way, and it let me know I've been living a lie my whole life since I've been able. Once you put your social security number in the working system and you start going to work and they start taking taxes out of your money, you're being lied to from that day forward. This is what I found out. I found out I'm not making technically more money for working for the system. Because when I was working for the system, I was making good money. The problem is it was going to invisible things that they don't want you to see, like these tax brackets and all this other weird payouts you got to pay for, and all of this, your health insurance and your dental, your eye, yada yada yada, and all these weird underlying fees that they tell you that you got to pay for. I found this out. All of that, you're giving all of that money that's coming out of your paycheck back to your company. I got several ways. I'm going to tell you how this works. One, all that money is coming out your check is going back to your company, right? Because all of these weird little fees to keep coming out of your check, whether you punch in or punch out wrong, or they say, hey, you took too much overtime, we're going to have to penalize you. It's always something. But since I've been working for myself, my numbers ain't what they used to be, how much money I make, the actual number. But when you look at the big scheme of it all, I'm breaking even. I'm still living just like I was when I was working 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. The same amount of money monthly that I was making on that job, not by numbers, but the broad spectrum of it. I'm not paying all of those weird fees anymore. And I'm going to tell you another one. The other one is, at your job, you pay health insurance, don't you? How many people have a job and you pay health insurance on your job? Your health insurance, your vision, and your dental comes out of every one of your checks. How many people? Raise your hand. Let me know. Let me know. Because I'm about to burn your ears off. If your health insurance, your vision, and your dental comes out of your check every week, whether it's just for you or your whole family, how many people? I know it's more people paying for health care and eye, vision, and dental. Okay. Let me tell you this. Your company, I don't know you from a hole in a sock. I don't know anything about you, but I do know this system. And what I do know about this system, every one of your jobs only gives you a couple of choices of insurance, don't they? Only a couple of choices. They don't let you shop around. Am I lying or what? When they say, hey, it's open, what was it called? I don't even remember what, open policy day, where you got to go down and renew your health insurance or renew your vision or renew your dental. It's open policy day, right? When you sit down with those new insurance adjusters, it's two people. Open enrollment. Thank you, Gina versus Gina. It's two people sitting there at that little table with you. And they say, you can pick this or you can get with that. You can get with this or you can get with that. You can get with this or you can get with that. I had to go a little bit old school or hip hop for y'all. All these people in this auditorium or the lunchroom that's sitting at these little white tables with these people with free coffee and donuts, all of those are the same company. They're giving you two choices. You can get this, or you can pay a little bit more on your premium and get that. This is what I found out since me and my wife been working for ourselves. If you go outside your company, oh wait, I gotta say this. There's a reason why you only get two or three choices. The reason why you only get two or three choices is because those people give the company that you work for kickbacks for them only, for the company only picking them. Do you understand? If just I'm gonna call it lead healthcare. Lead healthcare. Your company is going to go get lead healthcare, and lead healthcare is going to say whatever those premiums are, we're going to give you a percentage if you just use us. Your company is going to say, okay, bet. So this is what's going to happen. You're for year after year after year after year, you're only going to have two choices from this one company. And the only time that that's ever going to change is if another company comes in and gives more kickbacks to the company you work for. I can prove it. Your healthcare insurance is no different than working in the medical field. I worked in the medical field, and believe it or not, all of those I'm gonna say pills that they offer, and all of those new machines that your doctor wants you to try out, and all of the new medication that your doctor wants you to try out, he get kickbacks for every time he advertised this new medication that he wants his patient to try out, because you are a test subject. You understand? That's why they call it a practice. He don't know what he's doing. He's practicing. And for all my doctors and nurses out there that's about to come across me, cut the bullshit, I know what it is. He's practicing, because I know, and I've been in the trenches and seen those vendors come to our hospital and say, can you start giving these to your patients? What'll happen is we're going to give everybody free pens and free lunch at Chick-fil-A. We're going to bring pizza in, and once a month, your company, the hospital that you work for, going to get kickbacks for every unit or every machine that they use or sell. Once your hospital buys into that machine or into that medication, you're set. They get kickbacks, and that company makes money for selling you these medications. You think this medication is best for you because the doctor prescribed it. No, that medication is something that that doctor or that hospital is getting a kickback from. That's the only reason he or she knows this medication probably won't do you no good. But every time he prescribes this medication to you, he's going to get money to pay off his yacht or his house in the suburbs. I mean, his house in the Hamptons. I can't make this up. So my point is this: nothing is different when the healthcare is selling you their insurance. That company gets a kickback for letting you only pick this. Now, here's another piece of proof. Another piece of proof. If you've noticed, when you go to a restaurant, listen close, because this is for the people that's not quite thinking what I'm thinking. So I'm going to break this all the way down to a hood level just so everybody can understand. Okay. If you go to a restaurant, say you go to Kentucky Fried Chicken, say you go to McDonald's, say you go to Burger King, say you go to Taco Bell, listen close. Every one of these fast food companies and every company out here, these big box stores, if you go to their vending machines, on that menu, it says Coke products. You go to this restaurant, it says Pepsi products. You go to this restaurant and it says, I don't know, I don't even know another soda company. Why do you think that you cannot buy a Coca-Cola at Taco Bell, or you can't buy a Pepsi Cola at Burger King or something like that? That's because that company gets a kickback if they only use Coca-Cola. Why is it that when you go to a restaurant, they only have Coke products or Pepsi products? Why not both? because they pay them a kickback and tell them you cannot have any other brand products in this store. If you only use us, we're going to give you a percentage of this profit. Of course, Taco Bell gonna say, "Hell yeah, then we only Coke." And I can again prove that. Costco, Costco just made an agreement. I can't remember which one they switched from. I'm just gonna say they went from Coca-Cola products only to Pepsi products only. But what I didn't know is before they went to Coke, they was with Pepsi. So once Pepsi got tired of paying out their pocket, paying them off, and Coca-Cola said, we'll give you a higher percentage if you just use our products, Costco said, you know what? Cool, cool. Buy Pepsi. We back Coca-Cola people. And it's been doing that back and forth, and Coke and Pepsi been fighting each other over these companies just like that. So they do the same thing with your health care. I digress. I think I've proved enough. Listen, once you start working for yourself and you cut out the middleman, which is your company, what you do is you find out here in the world, the choices for your health care are endless. There's tons of companies out here that have your best interests at heart. You can pick and choose through these different healthcare companies to pick the insurance, the healthcare insurance that's right for you and your health situation. With that, you can customize that by saying, okay, I'm not that old, I don't need that. Well, I'm healthy, I don't need that. And I can, next thing you know, you realize I'm paying less for paying for my own health care, my own vision, and my own dental than going through one of these jobs that I used to work for. Because all of that money that was coming out of your check was going back to your company. You were getting screwed and you don't even know it. And I asked my wife, how is it that we're paying less for healthcare, paying by ourselves? That don't even, I said, this is clear, uncut robbery. How is it that our bills went down for paying for our own healthcare, our own health insurance, and our own vision, and our own dental? I can tell you something else. You don't have, when you purchase that insurance through your job, they give you only so many places you can go to get your new glasses, to get your new teeth, to get your teeth fixed up. But when you go shop around out here, you pick that. For instance, I can't make this up. Where do I go to get my glasses, my contacts? I go to Walmart. I know you don't want to hear that. I don't even use insurance. That's how cheap it is. I don't pay into vision insurance anymore because it's so cheap for you to walk into like a Walmart and say, I need an eye exam and I would like a pair of cheap glasses and I would like some contacts. You literally can pay that for little of nothing. Ask me how I know. I haven't been to a real vision place since I left the post office. Costco too, absolutely. So the reason why I'm telling y'all all of this is because that little girl, she touched my heart with her story. And with the story that she told, I can say this: we're working hard for the wrong system. Who is it? Let me see. She said, it's true. My glasses with insurance was 150, but I got from one of those online stores for $80 all day. I pay out of pocket. I refuse. And listen, this is the worst part. This is the worst part. Why is it that when you have health insurance or vision insurance through your job, that insurance comes out of your check every single payday, right? If you don't use it in a year, you just don't use it. You don't get double the contacts or double the glasses next year. If the time were up, what happens is, how is it that you're paying every paycheck for vision insurance, but then when you go to the eye doctor, they rip your pockets off too? But after the eye doctor, through your job, rip your pockets off, you still paying the same money every paycheck for vision insurance. Please do the math on that and tell me how that works. How is it that since I have been working for myself, I pay less for vision insurance? I mean, less to have my eyes examined, less to get my contacts, less for my glasses, and I don't have a paycheck every week with $35 coming out of my paycheck. Every week, I remember at the post office, because I had the best insurance. I had it was either $35 or $40 coming out of every paycheck for my vision. And then you start doing the math, 52 weeks in a year, 52. So break that into half. Just say, what is that? 21. No. Just say 24. Just say 24. So divide that in half. So 24, because we got paid bi-weekly. So 24 times 40. 24 times 40 is almost 100, right? 24. No. Yeah. 24. 24 times 40. Do that math. That's what you're paying your company. That's what you're paying your company before you even go to the eye doctor. If you never go to the eye doctor all year, you're still paying that every paycheck. And if you don't use it by the end of the year, it doesn't overlap. You just lose it. Okay. When I need contacts or glasses, I run around to Walmart, get my little quick vision exam, whatever. They hook me up, give me my contacts. And guess what? I don't have to go to a special kind of eye doctor if I'm out of town or nothing. I can go across the country and stop in a Walmart and say, can y'all fill this prescription? I need some contacts. I lost them. Boom. Right. It doesn't roll over. Thank you for that. Just Rachel. It doesn't roll over. Thank you. Think about that. My solution to that young lady and everybody else is we have to stop working for them. Now, I'm gonna give you a choice, kinda. We have to stop working for and paying into the system that has been lying to us and robbing us all your life. It's time for you to make your own system. It's time for you to work for yourself. Hey, Unbiased, how you doing? Oh, hey, Unbiased. That's just Rachel. I should have remembered that. How you doing, sister? So, once you start working for yourself, you'll realize something. You realize every time you work really, really hard, like you used to do in the every time you work really, really hard, like you used to do in the corporate world or working in a factory or whatever, you know what you realize? When you work for yourself that hard, you get your winnings immediately. You don't have to go ask for a raise. You don't. Can you stop doing that for me, my friend? With the please. You don't have to ask for a raise. You don't have to come kiss the boss's cheeks, trying to get a better, higher position at the job. Nothing. When you work hard for yourself, it pays you immediately. You instantly get your own. You raised yourself up to the point where your hard work pays off so much so that you can have somebody working for you. or helping you. The hard work that you come home so tired at night working for this system that you ain't got time for your family. You ain't got time for your kids. You ain't got time for your wife. You ain't got time for your husband because you so bone tired because you left out to get to work early this morning at 4:30 to beat traffic. And then you had to beat traffic on your then you had to beat traffic to get back home. By the time you beat traffic to get back home, it's 7:30 at night. You so tired, you gotta remember what your kids' names is. And then you can't give your full emotion to your wife or your husband because you trying not to lose your freaking mind. You walk through the door and I can't make this up. There is days where you walk through your threshold and literally drop everything on the floor. You don't care if it break, you don't care if it spill, nothing. Because if you don't drop everything on the floor, if you don't drop everything on the floor, you're gonna drop on the floor. And you won't be able to pick the pieces up. Sometimes you walk through the door and you drop your bags, you kick your shoes off, and you just want to scream. And then your kids come up and want to say hi to you. They love you. They miss you. Your wife or your husband want to come up. Hey, baby, how you doing? Miss you. So glad you're home. But it's not you being cruel. It's you trying to keep your brains from sliding out your ear that you can come off a little harsh. Like, hey, give me a minute. All anybody said in your household is they love you. But you said, look, give me a minute. Let me come through the door. Because see how that attitude was? That's what the system did to you in your mental. This is what I found out. When I'm home working for myself, I know where my kids are. I know where my wife is. I know what's going on in my household. I'm there when the man come and look and ask me, do I want a roof repair? It used to be my wife calling me at work like, there's a gentleman here and he want to know if we want a new roof and he want to give us an estimate. Should I? Everything I did for business, I did over the phone. I call my wife and say, listen, hey, can you do me a favor? Because I ain't getting off tonight till about 6 o'clock. Can you run and handle this business for me? Can you run and pay that for me? Can you go? It's a guy coming to pick up this bike that I'm selling. Can you on the phone all day handling your home business, but it should be the other way around. It should be that you're at home with your family on the phone with the people that you're doing business with. It shouldn't be the opposite, that you're at work and you having your kids and your wife and your husband do business transactions for you over the phone. That's insane because now really what you just did was employed more people. So you making the decisions, is your wife or husband initiating decisions, or even your children running back and forth to the store to get the things that you say you need for after work. So you literally had to employ other people to help you accomplish a financial task. So if you think about it, you literally have a crew of people just keeping you afloat because you can't handle anything by yourself. If you're single, you got your friends doing stuff for you. You got your mama doing stuff for you, your daddy, your uncle, everybody running around town for you because you at work. And you coming out the pocket say, hey, if you can go run and pick this thing up for me, I got a guy waiting for me and he at the Walmart. If you can go pick that up for me and look, give him $200. I'm going to give you $50 if you do this job for me. So you're literally losing money because you paying other people to handle your business for you. And they ain't got time because they got a life. Right now, with all this being said, because I don't want to carry this on, because I could do this all day, okay? With all what I just said, and this goes out to that young lady, sweetheart, if you ever see my video, I'm telling you this, you're doing it wrong. And it take all of us a long time to figure out that we've been doing it wrong. You're working hard for nothing. You're working hard to make billionaires trillionaires. Do you hear what I said? You're working hard to make billionaires into trillionaires. And you still have nothing. You don't have no burial insurance. You can't miss a day of work. You can't miss a day of rent. You can't miss your mortgage. You can't pay your car note. You're struggling while you're turning billionaires into trillionaires. You're working your ass off just to keep a roof over your head. You're working your ass off to be able to afford a vehicle to go and work for this fool. Okay. Nobody is going to want to hear this because we're so conditioned to this worldly system or the so-called American dream. Nobody is really going to want to hear this. We have to stop paying into this system that keeps us, I'm trying not to say the S word, in bondage. What could you do where you don't have to worry about other people anymore? In your business, in your finances, they're not making decisions whether you wake up today or do you want to stay in the bed a little later today. Do you feel, please don't say that word. Did you hear me not try to say that word because I said don't say it? Please, I'm thinking I'm talking to adults in this room. I don't think adults need to know. I think they know what I'm talking about, okay? Please don't do that. You're going to get us knocked. That's the problem. We have people that always tell us that's the best way. It's not. We should all be preparing for your own personal retirement right now. I'm talking about if you young, you 20 years old, you 18 years old, you should not be trying to figure out how to work for these people to turn these billionaires into trillionaires. You're right about that. You said other countries don't work like American families. Home is first. And you know what? And that's proof. It's proof. Every other country has a time to reflect. Every other country you see, even the ones that we think is bad people, right? They take a time out of their day. Every other country around us takes a time out of their day to reflect on their humanity. And it's not a lunch break. What is in Europe? It's tea time. In Mexico, it's a siesta. They know it. Every country but us knows, man, you got to give people a minute to remember their humanity. Because if you work them like dogs, they're going to start thinking like dogs and they're going to start acting like dogs. They're going to forget their humanity if you never give them a second to reflect on their humanity. You work them like a freaking dog, they're going to start acting like dogs. There you go. Every other country gives their people a time to chill, relax, reflect. You're a human being. I don't care how long it lasts, they give them a moment, even in the worst. Hell, let's keep it 100. They even give prisoners yard time. Because they know if they keep them people caged up like that 24/7, you're going to have a bunch of wild animals. Worse than what made them get into jail in the first place. So, how can you do this? You got to start investing in yourself. And I know that's easier said than done. But I'm telling you, that's the only way. That young lady says she doesn't have anything to show for all of the accomplishments that she has done. And I can almost guarantee you why. Because as I watched her video, I looked at her apartment and I looked at her clothing, and what I saw, name brand this, name brand that, trinkets in the background, trinkets over here, PlayStation 4, blah, 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 blah. Instead of investing in something that's going to keep you distracted like a video game, you need to be investing in something that's going to pay you back. That game is not going to pay you back. Invest in things that's going to pay you back. And I'm not even talking about the stock market. I'm talking about invest in land. Here's why I say invest in land. If you invest in land, it will always pay you back, no matter what you do. If you purchase this land, you're going to instantly get an instant payment. Like, you know how they say you get a rebate? Soon as you purchase a piece of land, walk around that land like I've been doing for the last 2 or 3 weeks, you start realizing you thought you just bought a bunch of trees. You didn't. You bought longevity. I'm looking at trees that will literally feed our family for generations. I'm finding them. Pecan trees, blueberry bushes, wild blueberries, and all these other kind of berries I keep running into. Persimmon trees, and I'm running into all this stuff. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I purchased longevity that's going to always pay me back in one way, form, or another. And I don't owe anybody for it. The things that you invest in, try to start making sure that, okay, what's the saying again? Buy once, cry once. Meaning my wood stove costed a fortune. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not gonna pretend. The wood stove costed a fortune. But I've had that wood stove now for 2 years. And it's kept me warm all winter for 2 years. For free. For free. So imagine what your heating bill would be in your home versus heating your home for free. Buy once, cry once. So that wood stove has already paid my family back what I invested in it. Just by keeping us warm. Just by being able to cook on top of it. Right? Purchasing land and working for yourself is more important than anything this system has to offer you. It has more to offer you than this system. And for the person that said property tax, you pay property tax whether you bought a home or you're renting. The worst part is you can't borrow against paying rent on another man's property. You're paying his taxes for him. So don't give me the property tax bull crap. If you're renting, you're paying your landlord's property tax. And if you don't pay his property tax, he puts your ass out. You can't fight it. You're just gone. And you're replaced. That is what I keep trying to see. That is the sickness in this community, is we listen to people that's so uninformed. I'm trying to be kind. We listen to people that are so uninformed and so uneducated about a situation that we run with it because it sounds sweet. But the reality is you sit there every day, all day, and start wondering, how is these people making better waves in life than I am? The answer is simple. They're investing their money in things. They're not spending their money on things. They're not purchasing things. They're investing their money into something that actually made it possible for them to purchase something. So what happened was they made their money make them money. So the things that they're purchasing is almost free. It's a game. It's a freaking game. And the only thing is you don't know how to play. And they ain't. Let me stop now. Let me stop because I'm about to say something. They never wanted you to learn how to play the game. Think about it. There was only, for instance, okay? For instance, in the Bible, they only wanted you to know certain pieces. Think. When they actually made it okay for you to listen to the Bible, they only told you certain pieces. They didn't want you to know it all. They didn't want you to read it. They didn't want you to understand it. They just wanted to verbally repeat certain passages in that Bible. Because it's a game. If you ever seen the Book of Eli, if you ever seen the movie, The Book of Eli, the reason why the villain wanted the Bible is because he knew in the old world, this is what they used to play people. They used the Bible for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years to play with people's minds because that's how powerful it was. In the Book of Eli, he also said, you don't know the power that this book wields. And the guy told him, his henchman said, it's just a book. He said, just a book? You have no idea. Because if you're the only one that can read it, let's get something straight. If you're the only one that can read a Dr. Seuss book and everybody else has to listen to you, you can turn Dr. Seuss into a god. Because everybody has to believe you while you read Dr. Seuss to them. And you can play with the words in the Dr. Seuss books, red fish, blue fish, one fish, two fish. You can make that into something heavenly. It's the power of the person delivering the message. So remember, we've been lied to for hundreds, if not thousands of years. What on God's green earth make you think right now that it don't matter whether it's the Torah only? It don't matter whether it's the Torah, whatever book you reading or drop to your knees and pray to. The thing is, if you're listening to it through a person that has other intentions, it don't matter. That's your problem. That's that cult mentality. That cult mentality, what you just did, I want to see your name because I just want to address this because it's important for what we're talking about. Whatever Tendrick or whatever your name is, let me tell you something. What you just did. What you just did was you just basically said that your ideology is superior to other people's ideology. That makes you a cult member. We're speaking facts on trying to hold on to your humanity, and you blurting out your idealistic views. Has nothing to do with who you drop to your knees and pray to at all, or which book you read about your heavenly Father from. It don't matter. What matters is holding on to your humanity, because I'm gonna tell you one thing, in all of the books, they're all teaching you how to walk the right path. See how universal that was? Didn't matter the title of the book. What mattered was all of the books. You learn how to be humane. You learn how to walk the right path. Again, I digress because that's that nonsense. Let me. I'm gonna just say this, and I mean this. Okay, that's the problem we have in this culture and in this community. Is your idealistic views are uh more cult like than what you even want to believe. Instead of you just trying to be humane, you you throwing up gang signs or what club you belong to, and that's not the message here. The message is, how can we stay humans and keep other people out of our family business so we have time to focus on what's most important, which is your family. Your family is everything. Your family is the power. Your family is everything. But that's what I was trying to say. They are dividing you from the things that actually make you strong. They don't want a they don't want a husband and a wife together. They want that husband gone. So they can tell the wife, the government, we're gonna give you money to take care of your children. The government wants your husband gone. The government don't want no man in your household. The government do not want no head of household. He do not want to see two names on this mortgage. He do not want to see two names on this damn car note. He does not want to see two names and two ownerships on anything, especially your children. And the reason why listen, in a relationship, when you have children, you know what the courts do? They give custody to either one parent or the other. It's really hard to get both parents joint custody. The first thing the court do is either they going with the daddy or they going with the mama. They make y'all fight over joint custody, but it's automatic when you go to court who getting the kids. They don't say nothing else. Who is the kids going with? That's the automatic answer for the courts. Because they want that divided. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if the kids go with the mama, usually they go with the mama. Sometimes they go with the daddy, but usually they go with the mama. And when they go with the mama, they're gonna pay the mama to take care of them kids. And how do they do that? And they're gonna give little grants to them kids and let them kids start to learn how to depend on them too. And the daddy better not have nothing to say about it. Because listen, let the daddy come over and say, I don't want my kid doing XYZ, and I'm their daddy, and I got some say so. Guess what happened? He going to jail. All you gotta do is call the police. They don't care what he did, how he did it, when he did it, what he said, how he said it. You going to jail. It's that quick to send that man to jail. It's not so easy to send the woman to jail. But they're sending that man to jail in a heartbeat for anything. He sneezed on the police, assault on a police officer, he going to jail. So even if he go to jail and he able to get out, he owe fines so much he ain't gonna be able to pay it, to the point he gonna always have dealings and run-ins with the law. I digress. What the people that came in here claiming their sets for whatever religion that they believe in, what you don't even realize is you just show how divided you are from the universal thought of trying to hold on to your humanity, number one, and the universal thought of brotherhood and sisterhood. You claim your set, and that's how I'm gonna put it like that, because it's like a game. You came in here and just forget what I'm talking about, how to better yourself. You came in here claiming your set. What Bible you read, instantly you saying, look, mine is superior to that. You did that, I didn't. So what I'm trying to tell you is, brothers and sisters, I want to give you one more piece of proof. Every time that we stepped out on faith and started living the way I just described, we overcame everything. Think about it. Every time we put our heads together and we started being on one accord with one another, put our differences to the side, put our separate religions and beliefs to the side, and we start building an empire immediately. Think. You know what happened every time we started being universal in love and universal in power and putting our differences aside and stop claiming sets of which religion or faith you drop your knees to. Once we did that, we started building empires, and people on the outside saw that and they realized, we need to break that up. So what do? They blow it up. They bomb it up. They fly planes and drop bombs, and they come through the town and shoot it up and burn up all the houses, burn up all the businesses, burn up all the banks. And this is what I'm trying to tell you without telling you, but it seems like some people so ignorant that they don't even hear what I'm trying to spit. You too caught up in your cult to let your guards down and understand that me and you are the same. We are on one accord if you let it be. We cannot build empires which you claim in a set. We cannot build empires if you're on that side and I'm on this side. All we're going to build is strife. And the thing that comes from that kind of division is listen close, if you're on this side and I'm on this side, there's always going to be somebody in the middle. Look at my hand. There's always going to be somebody in the middle whispering over here, starting shit. Whispering over here, starting shit. They let y'all destroy each other while they raise up and build their own empires. And by the time both of y'all sets is crumbled up, they employ you and they employ you. I can prove that too. While we're so busy, this country, fighting other people's battles, we're so busy fighting other people's battles, there's one country that's blowing up. There's one country that is going to be the next power company. There's a country that's about to be the next empire, because we're so busy squandering what we have, and we're so busy fighting other people and fighting each other through our racism and hatred and sexism and this and that. And there's another country listening, like, and laughing, watching the fight, while they're building on technology, they're building on education, they're building on their finances. They're starting to loan us money. They're starting to loan all these other countries that's fighting money. What they're doing is saying, listen, we're going over there. We're going to help you fight. But listen, pay attention. You know what this one country is doing? This country is going over there. We're going to help you fight them. You know what that country is still doing in the middle? You go over to this side and say, we're going to help you fight them. They have people on both sides fighting each other, and you don't even know these are plants inside of each side helping corrode anything that these people have set up. Degrade at a faster rate. So my point for all of this is there is a solution, but don't nobody want to hear it. That solution is go buy you some land. Everything you put on that land, pay out of pocket. It's not always going to be the best because everybody ain't got that kind of money. But the thing that rewards you every single day is it is yours. It belongs to you. It's not the best tractor. It's not the best lawnmower. It's not the best fencing, but it's yours. You put in the hard work to get it. And I'm telling you this, once you get to a certain level of that, your land and everything you put on it pays you every single day. And I can prove that too. I'm going to prove it. This is, do my wife have a land buying workshop? No, we don't. No, we don't. I'm going to prove it right now. I'm going to see if I can prove this. I'm going to prove it. Can you see that? Can you see that? Can everybody see that? What that is, if you don't know, that is my free energy. That is my free electricity. That is my free power that powers my home. For the investments that I made, the sacrifices that I made, so we don't have to pay for electricity. So every time I cut on my coffee maker, I'm not paying anything. Every time I cut on my television set, I'm not paying anybody anything. Every time I cut on my microwave oven, I don't have to pay anybody anything. Every time I cut on my air conditioning unit, I don't have to pay anybody anything. There will not be a doggone piece of mail coming in the mail talking about something I'm behind on a payment. Because I just showed you my investment, buy once, cry once. What happens is with this, that little trickling you see, that's my payment. Look at that payment. Look at that payment. That's my bank account. And this is my payment. And you know what that is? That's this little bit of sunlight. It's almost, it's what is it? It's almost 5 o'clock. It's cloudy and it's raining. Right? I'm still getting 124 watts of power. To me, it's like getting $124 an hour. Because that 124 watts means I don't have to pay for electricity. I don't have to buy into this grid or this system that they got me buying into to help me run my lights, my gas, my water. I don't have to do that. Buy once, cry once. Everybody can say solar is expensive. It sure the hell is. But you do it once and you'll never worry about it again. Imagine that. So what I'm trying to show people in my life, I'm not here to teach you anything. I'm here to show you and prove to you by watching me, man, this is how we really live. I am not a teacher. I am not a scholar and all that other stuff that people call me. I'm not. You know what? There's a reason why I don't really like when people call me a teacher or a scholar or a prophet. You know why I don't like that? Number one, because I'm not. And I want everybody not to put me on a higher pedestal and think I'm and my level is unreachable. When you call me a prophet, when you call me a scholar, when you call me those things, you elevate me on a level where saying you can never be that. And that's why I don't take it. I know everybody on YouTube want to be called elder, prophet, and all that. I don't. Because I don't want to make you feel like my level of existence is unreachable. And when you give people those titles, you make it and you say, basically, that level is unreachable for me. So I'll just abide by what this dude is doing. No, I don't like being called those things because I'm just a regular freaking dude. Y'all see me in freaking Walmart in jogging pants and Crocs. I'm an average everyday dude. I got a wife and some kids. They give me a headache every now and then. And I do crazy stuff. Every now and then I have me a shot of liquor. Every now and then I'm bouncing around the country. I'm an average dude. I don't know everything. But I can show people what works. I can show people what worked for me. And the reason why I don't want to be called all that stuff that people call me is because I want you to feel like the level that I've reached so far is very reachable for everybody. Whether you live in an apartment building, you live in a condo, you don't own your home yet, I want you to feel like my level of existence so far is reachable for everybody. It ain't that I'm being disrespectful when you call me a teacher and all of that. It's not that. I appreciate it. I do. But I'm not that guy. Because when you meet me in person, you're going to see all the imperfections and you're going to hear all of the bad grammar and you're going to hear some of my bad decisions. You're going to hear me not make the best decisions. I just made a horrible decision yesterday, right? I'm not a leader. I'm just a dude trying to get through this freaking life that they put me in. I'm just an average Joe starting to figure out that I've been lied to for 50 years. I'm just an average dude in America starting to figure out my worth. So I don't like being put on a God level or a God-like level. So that makes people feel like what you're doing, I can't do that. Oh, that's because you up here, and I don't want people to feel like that because I'm not. You see me on YouTube and people put me on that level. When you meet me in person, you be like, Led a little crazy. you know, you get to talking to me for a couple hours, you start to realize, oh, he's crazy. And that whole godlike way you thought of me or this rock star crap that you had in your head goes away real quick. You start to realize, oh, this dude is just like me. When you meet me in Walmart, and I got to give a shout out to my homeboy George that I saw in Walmart in Toledo, Ohio. George, big up. He rolled up on me and said, "What's up, lad?" And I tried, I always do I don't know who you're talking about. He said, "Come on, man." I had to give it up. So, man, shout out to you. Walmart on Glendale Avenue in Toledo, Ohio, 43607 is where I was about a week ago. So, mad respect to him, and I hope he get this message. And I'm glad I put it on this video because it's important. This video means a lot to me because I keep seeing all these young adults. They're making YouTube videos and TikTok videos of they're just drifting through life. They're homeless. They don't got nowhere to go. They don't got nobody to help them. And they really, truly, they're not, the young adults that I see making these videos are not making these videos for clicks and views. They're making these videos because they have nobody else to turn to tell them, I don't know my next move. You will look on YouTube or TikTok and see these young adults, in their 30s or whatever, or 20s, and they're telling you that's their cry for help. And in this era, this is the only way this new generation knows how to cry for help. Because people don't talk to each other anymore. So the only way they know how to cry for help is to go on social media and ask for help. So every time I see one of these videos, whether it's for clicks and views or not, I would like to offer my help and my advice on, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're trying to uphold the rules that they put on us while they're breaking the rules. You're trying to follow all of the rules and the laws down to the letter so you don't end up in court or you don't end up in jail or worse, right? All the time while they're breaking the rules, the laws, and the regulations that they set in place for you to follow. It's the do as I say, not as I do mentality. So what I'll do, instead of trying to correct people that's in power on, you breaking the law too. Instead of me doing that, you know what I do? I opt out of that bullshit. I opt out. I don't want to correct you because you already think your stuff don't stink. So I can't convince you that your stuff stink. So I best opt out of your system. I'm going to pull back a little bit and only deal with your system when it's totally necessary. But for the most part, I'm going to be over here doing me because I'm creating my own system and way of living. And everybody is going to have, if you want to get out of this system and stop feeling like you're always behind, stop feeling like you're always drained, and stop feeling like you always owe somebody something, it's only one way. Come out of this. Come out of this thing that this is a machine that you're literally getting grinded up and chewed up in. And you think that this is the way it's supposed to be. And I can tell you why you think this is the way it's supposed to be. You think this is the way it's supposed to be. You think that you're supposed to be struggling. You think that you're supposed to be hurting. You think that you're supposed to be aching. You think that you're supposed to be depressed and sad all the time. And I'm going to tell you why you think that. Because your mama and your daddy thought that too. That's the way your mama and your daddy thought. And why did they think like that? Because that's how they mama and daddy thought. Your grandmama and your granddad, that's how they thought. They thought this is normal. So that way of that mentality, what it does is that literally is inherited. That sick mentality of thinking that your muscles are supposed to hurt from a hard day's work every day, that you're supposed to be mentally drained every day, that your mind ain't supposed to be clear and it's supposed to be cloudy because you got so many things on your mind every day. That is not how you're supposed to be living. That's not how you're supposed to be going through life at all. Your mind is supposed to be focused on the Most High, and that's it. Everything else, you're supposed to be I can't make this up now. You're supposed to be focused on everything that you're supposed to be doing as one of the Most High's creation. I can prove how this system is wrong. Because this system that we live in and have been living in for hundreds, if not thousands of years now, is totally set up for you not to obey the rules of the Most High. If you 100% follow the rules and the guidelines of the Bible, we'll say, okay, or whatever you want to call it, you'll end up in prison. If you they made it so you can't do God's work in their book. This system is set up for you not to be able to follow the guidelines and the rules and laws and regulations of the Most High. Think about it. Think about it. You ain't supposed to be doing nothing on the Sabbath, right? Ain't the Sabbath supposed to be the most holiest day that no matter who you drop to your knees and pray to, you're supposed to abide by that? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Are you not supposed to rest on the Sabbath? I'm asking. Okay. Why is the system built for you literally to go work and be exhausted on that day? You have to work on that day, whether you say the Sabbath is a Saturday or a Sunday. It don't matter which one you're claiming the Sabbath is. I bet you got to work. And I bet you if you don't go to work, you'll get fired. I bet you if you say this is because of my religious or my faith belief, they don't care and you'll get fired. Even if you say, I am here to obey the Most High Yah, and this is his word amongst all men. If you say that, you'll really get fired. Because they're saying, now listen now, I mean it, what they're saying is they are even more all powerful than the Most High. They're telling you to follow their rules, their laws and bylaws and guidelines. They're telling you that their rules are more powerful than the person that you drop to your knee and pray to. Everything that you're supposed to be doing is really against the societal norm and societal rules. And if you try to abide by the word, you're an outcast. You're a weirdo. You'll end up in jail if you actually start trying to follow those guidelines that was laid in place for us. Correct? Am I wrong? Because somebody's going to say, you can't do that, or you got to do this. You can't do that. You got to do this. So, I'm in my 50s now. Unfortunately, I'm in the end of my lifespan, and I'm really just figuring this out in the last 8 years to 10 years of I don't want to do this no more, because I've been working my tail off for since I was 11 years old. I was a paper boy. I had a job, a real job. I had a paycheck as a paper boy. I've been working since I was 11 years old. I have never let off the brakes. When I was in them streets acting a fool, I'm gonna tell you one difference between me and my other friends in the street. We was in the streets and we was doing nonsense and cutting up, but I'm gonna tell you the difference. I kept a job. Okay? I worked in the daytime, but at night I was a monster. But I was back at work in the morning. I've been working my whole life. By the time I hit age 50, why do I feel like I still ain't accomplished anything? That's okay. When I say accomplished anything, I'm not saying purchasing a lot of bull crap. That's not what I mean. And I want to put this in everybody's head. When I say it feels like I haven't accomplished anything, is this: you don't equate your age and your health into that equation. Meaning, you start getting older, you start hurting. Your knees hurt, your back hurt, your hip hurt. You get kinks in your neck for no reason. You sneeze and something pops and you can't stand up for another week and a half. All of that said is we never add our health and age into the equation of what's going to happen to us, man. This system is not built to take care of you by yourself. Now, let me tell you something that I know before I go further into that. When I first started nursing, when you go through nursing school, you know part of your nursing school, you got to work in a nursing home, or it's called something. Hey, man, Nana. Oh, I thought that was her. What is called adult living, adult care living now is what it's called, right? Okay. When you're working in adult care living, or adult care, you realize something. You realize it's like prison. Now, that's me and my perspective of my residents, my patients. I didn't see it as a place that took care of our elderly and took care of our elders and took care of people that can't really fully take care for themselves. You know what I start seeing? What I start seeing is this is a prison for older adults. Think, all the money or any money that you have coming in, the nursing home takes it. The nursing home says, we feed you 3 meals a day. We give you all the adult diapers you need. We give you all the medication you need. We got your own room with your own bed. You got a little closet and a bathroom. We have all the things to take care of your ADLs every day for the rest of your life. So if you got $20,000 coming in every month, that $20,000 goes into that nursing home, and they're only giving you about $500 worth of care. So my thought was this: that's exactly like a prison. This prisoner may have millions of dollars on the outside, but all the money that anything has to, you put money on his books, that go to the prison. And the prison gives you little bits and pieces as they see fit. Now, the other part that reminds me, this is more like a prison, is if you enter into this nursing home or this adult care facility alone, there is nobody there to watch over you. There is nobody there to care for you, really care for you. There is nobody there to yell out for help to. There is nobody there if you enter this facility alone. No matter how much money that you got to take care of you until your passing day, you will be treated just like the person that don't got no money. You're going to be living in the same little room like they living in, just like a prison, a 6x9. You're going to have your own little bathroom like they do. It don't matter. And the way these nursing homes take care of our elders, they can't wait till you dead. They keep you alive long enough to finish draining your bank account. They heal over those doggone bed sores long enough to keep draining that doggone bank account. They don't care really necessarily whether you live or die. They just want to keep that money coming in. And with that being said, you think you're going to be living in your nice house when you start needing some help? Because one thing that I am just now learning, when I start hitting my 50s, this is what I start learning. Your bills don't stop. Your body is slowing down, but your bills are speeding up. You think that when you get older, that it's time to hit cruise control and you ain't got no more worries, right? It's the opposite of that. The worse your body is, the worse your health is failing, and the older that you get, the more money that you're paying to stay mobile, to stay alive, to stay healthy. So I thought about that. How can I get away from that system that wants me in that position? Because they want you to eat the worst food so you can stay sick. The food that they feed us, makes you sick. Twinkies and ho-ho cakes and pot pies and shit, that makes you sick. But it's not quite enough to put you 6 feet under. I want you to think. The same thing I said about that nursing home. They want to keep you alive long enough to get as much money out of you as they can. Well, this world is the same way. This country, at least. They know they're feeding you things that got poisons and toxins in it. They know it's poison. They know it's toxic. But they also know it's not enough to put you 6 feet deep with one sitting of this. They know over 10 years of consuming these products, that's when you about to check out. But they also average in, that's also about the time when their bank account is about dry. So we don't care if they go or they stay. Oh, hold. Oh, okay. They don't care whether you go or you stay, okay? Heaven or hell. It ain't none of their concern. They just want to keep you alive long enough to juice you and squeeze you like an orange. All of your essence, all of your power, all of your energy. I watched my father go from a young, strong man to an old man, beat, tired, exhausted. I remember watching my dad. This is the same dad that I would be playing football in the backyard with, the same father that would have me jogging and running with him and doing exercise. That same man full of life and full of youth. I watched that same man turn gray. I watched that same man can't keep his eyes open. He's so tired. He's so exhausted from turning billionaires into trillionaires that he didn't even have time for his family no more. He ain't got time to see his grandkids or meet his grandkids. He can't hardly remember nobody's damn name in the family. That's because he's so tired and he's so exhausted. And I'm going to tell you this from my own personal experience. When my father died, it was like another day. The world don't stop when you die. The world even kind of speeds up a little bit. And I remember thinking to myself when my father passed was all of that hard work, that big, strong, brilliant man, very intelligent, highly educated, my father was, highly educated. This system smoked him like a Newport and thumped him away just like the butt. And I thought about that. I thought about that as all of us. In my eyes, a man like my father should have been celebrated. They should have marched him down the center of Main Street for the next 8 hours with a parade behind him and white ponies and everything else. My father should have been in a gold casket going down Main Street. But see, as much of a real man, a real black, strong black power man he was, when he died, it was the same as the flowers that somebody got you for your birthday, the roses that somebody got you for your birthday started to just wilt till you threw them out. You feel bad about throwing out these wilted roses because there's nothing you can do with them. But you can only remember how beautiful they were. But you have no problem throwing them over your shoulder into the garbage. That's what this system does to people. This system smokes you like a Newport cigarette and thump the butt of you when you die. They could care less. You're not celebrated. They didn't stop the job he worked at. They didn't stop the line. They didn't say give him a moment of silence. None of that. You can't take a day off of work to go and to mourn. Nah. Mo pup. It was another day as usual. And you've seen it just like I've seen it, not just my father, but people that work with you side by side with you. When somebody get hurt on your job or somebody pass away at your job, that job don't shut down. That job literally speeds up the line because they're down one man. I want you to think about that now, because that's how this system does. This system does just like it's an assembly line in an automotive plant. When somebody passes away in this world or this system, it's just like an assembly plant for an automotive company. You would think they would stop that line for at least 1 minute and give a moment of silence and respect to the person that spent their whole life in that building helping this billionaire turn into a trillionaire. That's not what they do. They turn the line up and make the line go faster, and to the point all of the employees are looking at each other like, is the line going faster? It feels like it's going faster. You know what? That's because the damn line is going faster. You know why? Because the people that run this shit said, we're down one man. We got to make up time to replace him. So everybody is working on double time, double tap, because we can't replace that man yet. So the only way we can put out his numbers and put out his quota is if we double everybody else's quota. That's the system that we've been giving our all to. That's the system that we have been draining ourselves and neglecting our family, neglecting our wives and husbands and children for. That's the one that we've been neglecting. I can't help my son and my daughter with their homework because I'm too busy for work, for the same people that won't give me a moment of silence if I pass away on that line. And I need you to think about that for a hot minute. Think about how important it is for you to raise up amongst the ranks in that system versus helping your son with his homework. They don't want you home helping your son with his homework because they want him to be a flunky just like you. They want your son to come to them for the answers. And the only way we can stop that is to come out of that. We've been being tricked for hundreds of years. And the worst part is, and this ain't even a black and white thing. It's all of us. It's all of us. I'm going to touch on something else to make you see that this system that this young lady was crying about, I want to just show you how corrupt and crooked it is. This system is so corrupt and is so crooked that all of I'm not going to say it, the race that picks all of our tomatoes, the race that picks all of our strawberries, the race that picks all of our fruits and vegetables out of the farm, right? When all of that race was being attacked and they were being removed, I want you to, I'm going to mess with your feelings a little bit. I want you to just open your mind for a hot second, okay? When they were removing all of those people off of those farms and removing those jobs for those people of that race that pick our strawberries and tomatoes and stuff, I want you to think about something. They made us all feel bad. They made that race of people feel bad too. You know why? What I heard, they kept saying, I really wish I could have my job back because my family doesn't have anything else to do. We have no other way to make money. Think now, open your mind for a second. Get out of the politics. Get out of the politics of it. And I want you to think with your humane mind, with your mind that the Most High gave you. I want you to think there first, okay? Not in politics. That's hard to do for people now, but I want you to do it. They made those people feel bad that they lost their jobs picking tomatoes, strawberries, peppers, and onions for 25 cents an hour. That's the system that we put all our belief and trust into. So much that those people were brainwashed into thinking that they were doing them a favor by letting them work on them farms for the wages of my ancestors in 2025 and 2026. Why is it 2025 and 2026 and you got grown-ass people working in fields picking strawberries from sun up to sundown and they only making like $100 a month? You made them be proud of that. You made them compete. Who picks the most strawberries? Who picks the most peppers? Who picks the most apples? You made them compete and be proud of it and give them some little award and make them feel like they did something. That's the system we live in. See how that just worked? How on God's green earth did you make a man proud to be a slave? Because that's what that is. Now, them hauling off folks to jail and everything, I'm not going to get into political standpoint of that. All I'm saying is, it really came to light about the way this system is set up, which is they was making them people pick them berries and stuff for pennies on a dollar. Well, you and I both know, man, you got to at least start talking to me. I'm not going to fill out the application unless you say at least $24 an hour for me. That's where it starts. I don't want to talk to you about anything under $20 an hour to pick no strawberries all day in the heat with my hands. And ain't no facilities, no bathrooms or nothing around here. I got to walk all the way back to the barn to go take a dump or dump right here next to these berries. Son, please. You're not paying me not just a living wage. You ain't even paying what is it? A part-time wage to these people. They don't have the proper facilities and they don't got no health care. They can't go nowhere to pee, man. You ever see a real farm and you see them people way out there about 20 acres all the way off into the middle? You know good and well, man, if you got to pee, you ain't going to make it all the way back to the barn. Where you think they peeing at? Where you think they boo-booing at? Nobody in their best health can run all the way back to the barn to take a dump, son. No, that means, man, look what they was doing to them people, and this system said that's the right way. We're giving them an opportunity to be American. No, don't lie on us. Don't put that on us. Don't put that on us and try to say that's the way we do it in America. That ain't right. I'm not claiming that. Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby. There's another way away from that system to come out of that system. And I can prove it in history, and I already have, which is there was times in history where people came out of that system that did not want them in that system. Now, let's remember, okay? This system did not want certain people. They don't want you drinking out of their fountains. They don't want you sitting next to the doggone restaurant booth with them. You had to go around the back to get your food. You couldn't put your money in their banks, right? Stick with me. Now get this. Once all of the people that wasn't on one accord, we can't be fair with you. Those people became universally on one accord and said, we don't want your bank no more. We're going to go to our own bank. We're going to build our own bank. We're going to build our own city hall. We're going to build our own township. We're going to build our own theater. We're going to have our own art. And once they built cities like that, they came and destroyed them. That's proof that they do not want you all thinking universally on one accord, because division pays. Universal strength, they can't win like that. They need somebody working for them. You got to come away from that system, the same system that was made to basically destroy this beautiful country. That system that has been put in place, they brought that system from over the pond. That's the same reason they ran from over there to over here. And then they turned around and implemented those same rules over there, over here. Like it's going to work over here just because they're in a different place. And look where we are. You don't have to be part of that system. And that's for everybody. It don't matter what color or race or creed you are. You don't have to keep playing into that system to come up. Because the way it's working now is all we're doing is feeding the machine. It's like throwing another log in the fire. And all we're doing is turning other billionaires into trillionaires. That's it. You're spent. You're done. Your life is spent. Your life is over. And nobody can even figure out how to get enough money together to bury you. Everybody is doing a GoFundMe to try to put you in the ground. You worked hard your whole entire life. And nobody can come up with enough money to have you buried or cremated. You work hard all your life, and it costs you money to have a child. You work hard all your life, and it costs money to die. It costs money to be born, it costs money to live, and it costs money to die. That's the system you still trust? That's the system that you want to be part of. I understand that young lady and her problem, because we all have it. And that's why I did this video today, because I think we all understand how she feels. It don't matter that she's young. What matter is she's not alone. We all feel that. It just, unfortunately, takes some of us 50, 60, 70 years to start realizing we've been played. Thank God that she was like 20 or 30 years old and starting to realize this is some bullshit. So, that's it. Sorry for ranting. And I'm sorry for the trolls. But I had to get that out. Because that young lady is not the only one that feels that way. I think most of us do. Most of us feel trapped. Most of us feel burdened. And most of us feel hopeless. Have you ever been sick and forced yourself to go to work? And the only reason you force yourself to go to work is because you don't want to get in trouble. You know you sick. You can only lie to yourself. You know you really sick. You got a fever. You boo-booing on yourself. You puking a little bit. And the only reason you force yourself to go to work is because you don't want to hear your boss's mouth. You don't want to fill out no paperwork. You don't want to have to go get a doctor's appointment. You don't want to have to jump all through these hoops to prove that you done boo-booed on yourself. And you a grown-ass man or woman. You would rather doo-doo on yourself at work to prove, listen now, you know I'm telling the truth. You rather go to work and doo-doo on yourself at work to prove to them with their eyes and their nose that you're sick. You rather do that and embarrass yourself and degrade yourself at your job than to call in and say, I can't come in because I can't control my bowels. I'm sick and I got a fever. And they say, well, how long you been sick? You knew you were sick when you came over. No. I'd rather go in and doodle on myself. I'm right by your desk. Right by your desk. I need you to be able to have to call the janitor up to this mamma jamma. So you understand. One way or another, you're gonna have to send me home. Either send me home so I can go home and be sick, because there go my excuse on the floor. Right next to your foot. You need a doctor's excuse. There it is. Take a sample of that. You're going to have to send me home regardless. Either you're going to have to let me go home and be sick by myself, or I got to go home and change these drawers because they toe up. Either way, because if you don't let me go to the house and change these drawers out, we're going to have a lawsuit. Inhumane practices. So either way, I'd rather do that, man, than have to talk to you on the phone and tell you the truth. So, I'm preparing myself to be able to take care of myself by myself without this system. I can't rely on this system. I don't believe in it and I don't trust. I don't believe in it and I don't trust it. So I've been working on a way to come away from this system and only use this system when I am going to make a gain off of it. When I'm going to profit off this system is when I inject myself into this system. But for the most part, I'm working on how not to be part of this. Because ain't nothing about this right. So with that being said, everybody enjoy your Memorial Day. Thank you for hanging out with me. It stopped raining. My grill is smoking in the background. That just hurt my heart, man. See that young girl crying like that, man. Cause she don't know what she gonna do, man. I was crushed. But it just dawned on me. She ain't the only one. All of us, even whether you old too. You in your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, you feel alone too. You feel like you ain't accomplished nothing either. You don't got nothing either. That little girl is not alone. Let me stop calling a little girl, young lady. She is not alone. That's this system that got a hold on our neck. Everybody, thank you for listening. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your family. And remember, come out of this. What is it? What is it? Come out of her. There's another way to live. It's not the most savory way to live because most of us we're are we're brainwashed into thinking this is the only way we can live. This is how we should be living with expensive Louis Vuitton bags and expensive Air Jordan shoes. We are brainwashed into thinking that shows success. We're all brainwashed into thinking that's success. You got a Mercedes Benz. You got a high expensive premium automobile. That is brainwashing us into thinking that is what success looks like. And it's not. Real success don't look like anything. Real success, I'm going to tell you the successful people. The real successful people are the people you don't see. You don't get a chance to see them. You know why? Because they're not out here in the street working for a living. They're not out here doing this. They're off with their families, taking care of their families, having fun with their families, and living their life. That's the real freedom. They're waking up when they feel like it. You don't see them because they ain't in the morning traffic rushing to work. They're not in after work traffic rushing to get home. That's why you don't see them. Them real happy ones, them real successful ones, don't ever get it twisted. When you see a person with a rusty ass car and a muffler dragging on the ground, I can tell you one thing about that person. They don't have the car of their dreams, but they may be better off than you. Muffler dragging the ground, hubcaps missing, one of the windows is taped shut, got a piece of an old album cover in the back window with some duct tape on it. He in better shape than you. You want to know why? Because he owned that piece of shit. He ain't making no payments to nobody. Ain't no tow truck company coming to take his car for non-payment. He can park that piece of junk anywhere he want, and even the meter maid won't even give him a ticket. They feel so bad for him. But they know. Guess what else? Police ain't gonna pull him over. Police ain't gonna pull him over on the road because they know if we stop him and give him a ticket, he can't pay for it. But when they see you in your Mercedes and your BMW and your Lexus truck and your Range Rover, they pulling your ass over. And you better go, if they tow that boy's regular ass car and take it to the tow yard, man, he only out $300 or $400, if they crush it. But if they tow your Range Rover and you have to do some time and you can't go pay for it, and they crush your Range Rover, because they'll do it. You only got like 2 weeks or 30 days or something. They'll crush your Range Rover or sell it. You still got a payment. You got to pay for the rest of that Range Rover, whether it belong to you no more or not. So that boy with that regular ass car, he got it right. While everybody is running to the dealership buying the latest 2020, this, that, and everything else, don't get sick and have to miss some days of work, miss a payment. Y'all seen that little show with them tow truck dudes come up, zip up and back into your car, lift that thing and leave? You know that show? I don't know what it's called. Where that dude, he just whip up in your backyard or something in your driveway, back in there, and that little arm come out and grab your car by the wheels, pick it up, and that son bitch leave. Before you can cut the porch light on and say, did you hear something kind of noise? He gone. Yeah, the repo man. He gone. Your car, oh, my car been stolen. I won't call it stolen. It was given back. The repo man he's the middleman. He's just giving your car that you can't pay for back to the people you bought it from. That's all. Ain't no repo. That little man with that regular ass car, he can sleep at night. He don't got to worry about nobody stealing that regular ass car. He ain't got to worry about nobody taking his car radio because he probably ain't even got one. And he ain't got to worry about the repo man sneaking up with that damn crane, grabbing his tires and carting his little car off in the middle of the night. He ain't got to worry about that. That boy can sleep at night. You ain't make a payment. You always looking out the window. You hear something? You hear, what was that? You heard something? What's that light down there? What's them headlights down there? You see that? You see what I'm saying? When you know you ain't made a payment, you missing a payment, you always looking up. Hey, is that a tow truck? You see that down there? Hey, go give me my key. Go give me my key. Go give me my key. Can't sleep at night. You miss a payment. That's the system. That's the system they want you part of. You know you gotta be getting up for work about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and your ass is 3:30 in the morning. You looking out the bedroom window, hoping that ain't the tow truck man. That's enough, because I could do this all day. Everybody, enjoy your day. Happy Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day to all the vets and our active members. Lead Farmer 73. Stay safe. Stay sane. I love you, and I'm out. Peace.